is a bunch of Christian guys that get together, hang out, and yeah, talk mostly. So we're going to try and do that in this area here for, well, mid-December. Anyway, skeeters are coming out, so it's time to call it good. Well, I got a little bit more done today. Cleared some more up here. You didn't used to be able to have a clear walk, mostly a clear walk, up to the picnic table. So got a little bit more over there to clear. Got a lot more of this raked out. So now it just looks like dirt. But I made it up to there. And a little bit further that way. It's kind of slow going just to get it all picked through. Got a little bit more down that way. That's kind of where I started this evening. But I want to get this cleared out so we have a nice good sized area. And I'll get it raked out. We're going to do Iron Man here. This stuff over there to the burn pile and come back. Oh, let's shift to high gear. Get a little moving better. Although this stuff looks, like it might be able to be chipped or some of that, the fibers of Palmetto play havoc with everything on the chipper. So you can't chip it. You can compost it, but the danger with composting it, well, one, it's in big pieces, so it takes a long time to break down. But also, if you bury this stuff, even though it looks like it's dead, some of it may not be. You don't know that it's dead until you start pulling at it and it starts falling apart. Then you're like, that's dead. So these things, in theory, might sprout again, which is part of the difficulty I'm running into, is I think folks who own the property before us ran through and did some of this, tried to clear stuff out, and what happened is they ended up burying stuff that just sprouted again. And that's really problematic. So the best way to deal with Palmetto is to burn it. Got to come back and finish up all this. I'm kind of letting stuff lie for a little while and wait to see where the new green stuff is. Go through and pluck that stuff out and then clear things up. Going through and trying to get it all in one shot. The bad thing is you get these oak trees caught up in that, and the oak trees don't do well when you mess with their roots. Pine trees are pretty hardy when it comes to messing with their roots. So like digging around this pine tree, no problem. That oak, a little bit sketchy. The other types of oaks, they can be really, really sensitive to that. So, let's see if we can get around and pick up some of these other ones from this side that I got. Some of these little scrubby things, they're, let's just say they're not in the master plan, if you will, of where we're headed with all this stuff. Got it all or not? No, we got one there. Gotta shift to low gear here. Hopefully that doesn't come up too much further. Let's drop our load a little bit more. Anytime you're working in this kind of an area, it's always a real balancing act, keeping stuff on the level and making sure you don't tip over. So now I gotta watch, but I know because I went forward how high this is gonna be. So that's all that was. Oh, I forgot to look back at my backhoe. I had that little tree stump I went and picked up. All right, I think all of this is gonna go to the burn pile too. So we'll take it over there. Let's see what we can get going here. So I'm gonna be pulling out some more Palmetto. I'm gonna try and work at this section over here. So we get the tractor in and around the right way. Various Palmetto running this away, so we're going to try and get at those. See how this goes. Pop down my outriggers. Oh geez, I got one down here. There's stuff everywhere here. Got one right here in front of me. Several in front of me actually. The trick on these is to get the bucket really hooked on just one Palmetto. And then start a pile. Missed that one. I wonder if he's already fallen. Sorta. He's already mostly out. This is kind of a minefield in here of Palmetto, in that I think it was a spot where somebody had tried to clear some before, and they maybe only did the tops, they didn't get the roots. Which you gotta dig down to really get the roots out of these things. Otherwise, they just come back. takes a sec. We'll get it. Oh, it's going all the way up this way. That's what's going on. Okay. That's half the battle in getting a lot of these figured out, is discerning what direction the palmetto moves with root, and then getting the root out. In this other area that away, I ended up having to go back over it and just almost dig trenches to get it all out. I think I'm gonna have to do the same thing up in here. Kind of look for it almost turns the ground to jelly as you move the palmetto roots. Nothing. One right up there. It might be a little out of my reach. We'll try it. Kind of depends on which way it moves as to whether or not I can get it. Yeah, got that one out. And then what I'll do after I get all of this kind of ripped up, we'll come in with grapple. Yeah, that's not going to get that. And pick up all the mess. No, that's one, but he might be where I got to kind of dig him up a little bit more. Get a good grip on it and get it broken free of the dirt. There we go. That's coming. Might not hear it on the camera as much from the microphone, but I definitely start hearing the ripping. That's what lets me know we're getting close. This is definitely a mess in here. We will really need to come through and get more of this dug up. Because it kind of goes deep here as far as where it's sitting, and it makes it tough because we're right next to a water oak, I think. So the water oak roots will kind of spread out a little bit. So I may hook one of them. Palmetto I can kind of tell. Because it's got a softer feel to the when the backhoe grabs it. A lot of good compost in here. That's the neat thing about palmetto, is it definitely gets a peak going. Hey Thor, what you doing? I didn't have my cameras with me, but had fueled up the tractor and walked away, came back, and he was sitting in the tractor seat waiting for me. Yeah. How you doing, buddy? Hi. You are one sturdy cat. You know that? Yes, you are. All right, I gotta go put my shoes back on. Is that okay? You know, you want me to sit here and pet you for a while. Yeah. Oh, right there? Right there? Okay. Is that good? Okay. All right, can I go get my shoes on now and go in the house? Okay, thanks. Well, let's see if we can fall this tree. That's another spot I started cleaning up a little bit, was this space in here. It kind of was a trail and it was a little more convenient, but there was a bunch of just mounted up junk. So I kind of made this a trail, cleaned up a little bit around that tree. Still need to clean around that other side. There's a lot of muscadine right in there, so that's another reason why I want to do that. You can see the muscadine had taken over that tree, but I had clipped it. So that's good, but it's starting to encroach back over here. I can see some runners getting up into trees. So I want to kind of clear that out and keep the big trees, well, even the smaller trees. Put some of the work I've been doing in perspective. That's the tractor there, kind of for scale. This is all palmetto that we've been pulling out of that one area where we're going to do the Ironman gathering here in December. But yeah, so that's the little pile we've been making. Let me, I'll walk down the trail here, kind of give you an idea of how this has been progressing. So this is the view the guys will see when they come. Pretty close to it anyway. Got a little bit more palmetto in there to clear out. And you can see this piece that's kind of got moss on it. That's it. It's actually starting to compost, but it doesn't do it very fast. Got a couple little twigs here and there to do there. I got one little couple pieces in that area there to do. There's a bunch of little stubs in here that need to get cleaned up. But the bulk of the work that I've been doing is kind of in this area, from this left edge now to the right edge. I gotta fix the solar panel for the Wi-Fi. But what did we get done this morning? Kind of got a little bit more of this cleared. It's clear now to me that this is where he was dumping all of the palmetto, hoping it would compost, but palmetto never really composts. It just rots and sprouts again, and then you have a really big mess. But I got cleared up into this area, and it chunks up so badly. Like you can see little bits here and there. Tried to rake it up with the tractor, but I'm going to have to come back just and hand pick it all up and whatnot. So I made it into this corner this morning, really this whole area here. And I knew I had a tree here that was dead. You saw me kind of push it over. So to give you a little bit more scope on that, it's been dead for a bit, but it came out of there. I've got to finish. I'm almost to the end. There's a gorgeous tree right here. This one is really very picturesque. I got to clear out underneath it. There's some suckers that need to get dealt with, but it's coming along very nicely. So that little tree that we pushed over, there's the top of it. So I'll have to come back out here. I've got a lunch. I'm going to go hang out with a friend from work and finish this up. I've got a couple of roots I got to trim up. I trimmed up those trees there yesterday so I wouldn't hit my head. Got a little bit here to finish up. And should be about done. Most of what you see laying on the ground there is what I trimmed up. Got a lot of raking in here to do, but to give you kind of an idea where we're at here on the other side, this is looking at just towards where that tree I felled, or pushed over really, is. So it's right there. So a little bit more palmetto. I think this tree here, its base goes that way away, so it fell over and it's just kind of been struggling. So it's definitely not a healthy tree. But we're going to clear out the rest of this bit. This is that other tree that I think is just gorgeous. It's got a very majestic kind of look to it. It's got some air whatever you call them, plants growing up in it. I've got muscadine in here that I got to clear out, but I need to clear up. There's some palmetto in this area. We're going to mow all this down, get it trimmed up so that you can see basically from here almost all the way over towards where the Wi-Fi is, and that should get this going. So I've been playing with cameras and doing stuff like that. This YouTube stuff is not for the faint of heart. You got to really plan out a lot of this stuff. The cinematographers and folks that do movies and things, man, trying to plan out a shot, how it's going to look. Like felling this tree, I probably could have had 3 cameras on it so you could see me pushing it and it falling over and all that kind of stuff. But that takes a lot of work, and it takes away from getting tasks done. I have to balance, I guess, between what do you stop to video and what do you do. And I enjoy, this is my peace and relaxation, doing work out here in the forest. So to make it work, the YouTube, that isn't, it's fun, but it's not as enjoyable as just being out in nature. So I'm trying to figure out how to balance all that. But let me know if you guys enjoy some of this stuff. If you want to see more, I'll take the effort. If not, I'll just enjoy myself. Anyway, take care. God bless. Well, made a little bit more progress today. I've kind of leveled out, went through and hand picked out some of the stuff. Dragging it with the grapple works, but it does tend to pull up a lot of roots. So I cleared out, bucked that tree that was sitting, well, the one that I fell was right there. So I figured I'd use that. Since it's been dead for a while, I'll use it for firewood for the Iron Midnight. So I stacked it up there on the table. Got a lot more of this stuff cleared out. I went this way today and got quite a bit around that way. Oh, I didn't come back. I was going to grapple this out, but I got distracted with other stuff. But there's lots of palmetto in there, some palmetto trunks in there. Probably should just bring the farm truck around and hand throw those in and dump them straight in the fire burn pile. But I kind of made up into there. I still got a little bit of palmetto over there to do. And then we've got lots of space then going this way. There's a couple of big trees over there. I kind of cleared up and around those. And so I've got just a little bit more in this space here to do. A little bit more over there. I got some mushrooms growing. And then we'll be able to get to that big, beautiful tree and utilize that. So cleared a little bit more out of this space here today too. Just kind of more of the stuff on the ground. And then I did go this way a little bit more to get up towards that tree. But that's going to be a little bit more work. There's a lot of suckers in there. And I don't really want to disturb the tree roots too much for that one. Oh geez. Keep looking around. Yeah, so there's a lot more palmetto going that way. So I'll probably go around that way at some point. But this may be the focus, excuse me, for the Iron Man site. So primarily in this space here, we'll probably just use that, and that'll work great. It'll be perfect.